Hi, this is Victoria Paege here with Brian Pulido. Brian, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for inviting me.
No problem. Brian is going to be doing a horror panel as well as showing The Graves, one of his feature films. Now, Brian, you're known mostly for Lady Death.
Yeah, for writing comics. I founded Chaos Comics, and I've created and written characters like Lady Death, Evil Ernie, Purgatory, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th, Chucky, these sorts of things.
All kinds of things.
All horror.
And now you've been working on a lot of features and music videos and things like that, correct?
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, so I made a feature film called The Graves here in Arizona, and it's really exciting. At the Phoenix Comicon, they're going to show it. So The Graves, which stars, let's see here, Claire Grant, Jillian Murray, Tony Todd, who we know as Candyman, and Bill Moseley from Devil's Rejects, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and even Randy Bly, lead screamer of Lamb of God. Well, this movie's showing at the show Friday night, 10:30 at the Hyatt in Ballroom C.
Wonderful. Well, that sounds like a great cast, and I'm definitely a horror fan, so something I'm going to be checking out. Now,
Cool, thanks.
No problem. Now, you're going to be doing the horror panel as well.
Yes.
What exactly are you going to be going over at that panel?
Well, the horror panel is going to happen Saturday starting at 7:30. And I believe, the way I understand it, is going to be all the local Arizona horror filmmakers. And instead of just pontificating about what we do, we're actually going to make this a useful seminar where people could come in and learn how they themselves can make their own horror film and learn from the things we did that were good and the pitfalls that we had. So it's a good panel to come out and get some tips before you decide to go out and make your own horror movie.
So that's really good. It's really good to have that focus on feature films as well and filmmaking instead of just the comic aspect of it.
Yes, just the comic?
Well, I was going to say,
just
going
the
back.
Comic. Okay.
Well, there's a whole spectrum.
That's right. There's a spectrum of entertainment. You know, I kind of just look at comics as perfect unto themselves, and other forms of entertainment, they're other cool forms, but comics are just sheer perfection unto themselves.
So speaking of your perfections, is there anything else in the works?
Well, I'll tell you, just for the Phoenix Con, I've made a Lady Death exclusive book. It's called Lady Death The Rapture #1. I think it's called, it's the Phoenix Con edition, so the cover is beautiful. It's by Aaron Lepresti, Carl Kiesel, and Brian Miller of Hi-Fi Designs. The interior artwork is by Yvonne Heiss, otherwise known to some people as Ivan Reis, the guy who illustrated Blackest Night. This book is limited to 113 serial numbered copies, and they'll be debuting that Thursday night, and get them while you can.
So definitely make sure to get your full weekend pass so that you can grab a copy of that on Thursday night.
Yeah, get in early. Yeah, it's called the Red Edition.
The Red Edition. Okay, well, you've definitely filled us up with tons of information here. Is there anything else that you wanna let us know that's in the works that you're working on?
Yes,
or?
I've called upon the winds first.
Wonderful.
It's got some other neat stuff in the works. Let's see here. Other guests that are performing at Phoenix Comicon are Calabrese. And I know that between myself and Calabrese, we're cooking up their next music video. I've been lucky enough to work with them in the past on other projects, including a video called Voices of the Dead. And in that one, we paid homage to horror movies of the 50s and 60s. This one, we were not going to stray too far away, but our presentation is going to be really wild. I will let Calabrese in the future name the song, but we're shooting that coming up in the summer. And then in the world of comics, actually, I'm writing Lady Death, the monthly series, along with my co-writer, a gentleman by the name of Mike Wolfer. And this is pretty ambitious to put out a comic in this day and age on a monthly basis, but it's coming out in the fall, and I'm happy to report I've done the plot for the first 12 issues and in complete detail for the first 6. And I was mentioning to you earlier, Victoria, that I'm a little scared. By the end of that 12th issue, I've really written myself into a box. It's some intense stuff happens. So there has to be a number 13, but I'm like, oh my God. What I would say for longtime readers, there are a couple of aha moments in there, crazy reveals that'll make people's heads spin in a good way.
Brian, thank you so much for all that information. I know I'm going to have something new to add to my collection.
Thanks for the opportunity. I appreciate it. Here we are in sunny Scottsdale, signing off. We'll see you at the Phoenix Comicon this May.